Aloha! I hope you brought your walking shoes and boarding passes because it's time for another episode of Aimlessly Wandering. On this episode, we will be exploring historic Front Street in Lahaina, Hawaii, which dates back to the early 1820s. But before we jump into this episode, you should probably go back and watch part 1 of our Hawaiian adventures to see what you've missed and how we got here. With that out of the way, let's jump into part 2, exploring Lahaina. Here we go. So we've left the resort and we're hitting up Front Street, which is in Lahaina. Well, actually, it's pronounced Lahaina, but at that point of our trip, my Hawaiian was not what it should have been. Apologies for the mispronunciation. The Lahaina Historic District is a National Historic Landmark District that encompasses most of the community of Lahaina, Hawaii, located on the west side of the island of Maui. Right in the heart of the district is the Lahaina Banyan Court Park, home to the oldest living banyan tree in Hawaii. Our next stop was the Wharf Cinema Center Shops, where we were welcomed by the music of Damien Aui. Notice the merman and mermaid bathrooms? The Wharf Cinema Shops are located across from the banyan tree and home to a variety of shops and restaurants, including specialties and open-air courtyards. It is also home to the Plantation Museum. Outside of the center, we found Polynesian artists busy at work. As we made our way closer to the wharf, we found the historic Pioneer Hotel and Pioneer Theater, which was built in 1901 and designated a U.S. National Historic Landmark. We were impressed at the beautiful courtyard at the hotel, including Alex the parrot, who was actually incredibly shy when we were visiting. We also passed along the historic Baldwin House and made our way along Front Street, admiring the views and the cool Pacific breeze. While taking in the view along the sidewalk, we couldn't help but notice crabs hanging out on the rocks. But just as we thought that all was well, Adrian faced an unexpected surprise. What happened?
But this shot though.
Nice, Tessie. I got pooped on.
Sounds like
why I carry wet wipes from Hooters.
Sounds like a shitty situation. Thank goodness for Hooters wet wipes. Thanks, Hooters. We continued to make our way down Front Street, admiring the historic buildings and passing the many storefronts that line the street. Realizing that we'd worked up a little bit of a thirst and that we were still getting used to the jet lag, we were lucky enough to stumble across VigiLatte Artisan Coffee just at the right time. While we were there, Adrian got a little bit of a show. Our baristas were amazing and the coffee was delicious. If you're in Lahaina, we would for sure suggest you stop there. We paused for a moment along the ocean side and took in the sights that the bayfront had to offer before moving on to our next stop. Now, when you travel with Adrian, you'll know to expect that she's determined to find unique and local bookstores. Our trip to Hawaii was no different. Now where are we going?
Bookstore.
This used bookstore features a rather large collection of offerings at a perfect price, which is great if you're looking for beach reads. Of course, it comes as no surprise that Adrian found a book that she wanted. So, what you got?
A book that I've already read but didn't own.
We continued forward to the Lahaina Cannery Mall, which was situated on the old Baldwin Packers plantation farm. It was there where we found one of many ABC convenience stores in the area. Everyone talks about ABC stores when you come to Hawaii, and I have to say I've been to 2, and they're pretty cool. ABC stores are a great place to get everyday essentials and souvenirs. The chain operates 73 stores, 57 of which are located in the state of Hawaii alone, so they are relatively easy to find. The best part is that the ABC stores we shopped at, they all carried alcohol, which is great if you want to make mimosas. Only one enough Prosecco to do a mimosa? Here you go. After walking about 3 miles, we'd worked up quite an appetite and took the suggestion of one of the guests we met at the resort to hit up Cheeseburger in Paradise, an easygoing American outpost with tiki decor, known obviously for their burgers. The first thing that was needed was cold tropical drinks.
Oh, mine's good.
Is it?
Oh my god, very sweet, but good. Very sweet.
Their burgers were tasty and the view was amazing. If you're looking for great burgers in Lahaina, I definitely suggest it. Of course, you can't have a meal without dessert, so it only made sense that we hit up the world-famous Honolulu Cookie Company. Founded in 1998, the company got its roots by making shortbread cookies in their signature pineapple shape, chosen for its symbolism of the hospitality associated with Hawaii. Their cookies make a perfect treat, or even better, a nice souvenir to gift people back home. After picking up our sweet treats, it was time to head back to the resort and into the pool. Before we head on to our next adventure, this would be a great time to remind you to like, subscribe, and hit that alert button so that you'll get notified the next time we aimlessly wander off on our next trip. You can also now find us on Facebook and Instagram to keep up with our travels. While exploring Lahaina was certainly a highlight, it was only a small blip compared to what came the following day, exploring the road to Hana.